1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Ali Ahmed. First, the headlines. A PIA aircraft with 99 passengers and 8 crew members on board crashed in Karachi this afternoon. Prime Minister expressing deep grief and sorrow over the plane crash has ordered immediate inquiry into the incident. Special Assistant to Prime Minister on Health has warned that COVID-19 situation can further worsen if people do not practice the precautionary measures. Foreign Office says China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a transformational project contributing positively to the country's national development. United States has thanked Pakistan for donating protective gears and surgical masks to support fight against coronavirus pandemic. In occupied Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference chairman has called upon the Muslims around the world to stand up for the freedom of oppressed people of Palestine and the Kashmir from Zionist Israel and fascist regime in India. And now the news in detail. An aircraft of PIA Airbus A320 crashed in Karachi today. According to reports, the aircraft en route from Lahore to Karachi crashed just before landing at Karachi airport. 99 passengers and 8 crew members were on board. Prime Minister Imran Khan has expressed grief and sorrow over the loss of precious human lives in tragic crash of PIA aircraft in Karachi. In a statement, the Prime Minister prayed higher status for the deceased and commiserated with the bereaved families. The Prime Minister also ordered immediate inquiry into the plane crash incident. Minister for Aviation Ghulam Sarwar Khan has expressed grief over the tragic crash of PIA plane and ordered aircraft accident investigation board for immediate inquiry into the incident. Interior Minister Ijaz Ahmed Shah, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi have also expressed grief and sorrow over the incident. Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa and Air Chief Marshal Mujahid Anwar Khan have too expressed grief over the crash of PIA Airbus 320 aircraft near Karachi airport today. In their separate messages, they said that all-out support have been provided to civil administration in rescue and relief operation. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Syed Shibli Faraz has said the government is fully focusing on relief and rescue operations in PIA air crash incident. Talking to Radio Pakistan's News and Current Affairs channel, he said it is a tragic and sad incident before Eid, and all prayers of Prime Minister Imran Khan and his government are with passengers, crew members and their families. He said injured are being shifted to hospitals and details of passengers and plane are being collected, which will be shared after compilation with the media. Earlier talking to PTV, the Information Minister said federal government is in contact with the Sindh government and both are making all-out efforts in rescue operation. He said Prime Minister Imran Khan is also in contact with the Sindh government and Civil Aviation Authority and giving necessary directions in this regard. Special Assistant on National Health Services Dr. Zafar Mirza has warned that COVID-19 situation could further worsen if the people did not practice the precautionary measures. Briefing media in Islamabad today, he said the lockdown was eased in view of the difficulties of the poor people and their daily wages. Dr. Zafar Mirza said it has been made mandatory for the people to wear masks at any gatherings or while using the public transport. He said this will help the people to keep themselves and others safe from the contagion. National Disaster Management Authority has started supplying sixth consignment of personal protective equipment to the provinces. A spokesperson of National Disaster Management Authority said 15,750 N95 masks have been dispatched to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and 7,350 to Balochistan. The consignment also included 31,500 protective suits to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and 7,300 to Balochistan. Other equipment being provided to the provinces include face shields, shoes covers, protective goggles and glasses and face shields. The spokesperson said the supply of sixth consignment to all the provinces will be completed before Eid. The novel coronavirus pandemic has so far claimed over 335,162 deaths across the world, and more than 5,100,000 infections have been detected. The United States has the highest death toll of 96,280, followed by Britain with 36,042 and Italy with 32,486. Over 2 million people have so far recovered from the infection. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has said its China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a transformational project contributing positively and transparently to the country's national development. In a statement today, Foreign Office spokesperson Aisha Farooqi clarified that our total public debt relating to CPEC projects is less than even 10% of the total debt. She said the public debt obtained from China has a maturity period of 20 years and the interest is 2.34%. If grants are included, the interest value slides down to about 2%. She said the claims made by some of the commentators and public officials on Pakistan's debt obligations relating to CPEC are contrary to the facts. The spokesperson said Pakistan and China are all-weather strategic cooperative partners. Both the countries are engaged in promoting peace, development, and stability in the region based on the principles of mutual respect, mutual benefit, win-win cooperation, and shared development. The Chinese embassy in Islamabad has donated 8,000 food packages for distribution among most vulnerable segment of Afghan refugees, especially those adversely affected due to current COVID-19 pandemic. The assistance has been made under China-Pakistan-Afghanistan trilateral cooperation. The food packages will be distributed among deserving Afghan refugees in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, and Punjab. The United States has thanked Pakistan for donation of protective gears and surgical masks to support the fight against coronavirus. In a tweet, the United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo appreciated Pakistan's goodwill donation of surgical masks and protective suits to Federal Emergency Management Agency. He said the delivery is a symbol of Pakistan's United States solidarity in the fight against COVID-19. Meanwhile, the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia, Alice Wells, in her tweet also expressed gratitude to Pakistan for the goodwill donation. Earlier, the consignment of personal protective equipment from Pakistan via C-130 flight from Islamabad landed at Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland. The equipment was also handed over to United States Federal Emergency Management Agency for onward delivery to the United States Armed Forces. In occupied Kashmir, the All-Party Hurriyat Conference chairman Sayyid Ali Gilani has called upon the Muslims around the world to stand up for the freedom of oppressed people of Palestine and Kashmir from Zionist Israel and fascist regime in India. In his message in connection with the Quds Day today, he reminded the Muslims not to let the world forget the issue of Palestine by creating an atmosphere of silence. He also brought the attention of the Muslims towards the oppressed and neglected Muslims of occupied Kashmir at a time when Indian regime in New Delhi was in the process of changing the demography of the territory. Senior All-Party Hurriyat Conference leader Agha Sayyid Hassan al-Muswi al-Safi in a statement in Srinagar urged the United Nations to implement its resolutions, which is the ultimate solution to settle the Palestinian issue. Meanwhile, people held forceful anti-Indian and anti-Israel demonstrations in Srinagar, Budgam, Islamabad, Pulwama, and other areas to mark the Kashmir Day and Al-Quds Day today. Call for observance of the day was given by the All Parties Hurriyat Conference. Jummatul Wida, the last Friday of the holy month of Ramadan, was observed today with religious solemnity across the country. The Jummah gatherings were held as per the standard operating procedures agreed between the government and the religious scholars in view of the threat posed by COVID-19. Jummatul Wida has a special significance since it is a prelude to the departure of holy month of Ramadan. Meanwhile, the International Day of Al-Quds was also observed today to express solidarity with the oppressed people of Palestine. Banners and posters have been put on display to highlight the plight of Palestinian people. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, rain with wind and thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Upper Punjab, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Kashmir. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gv.pk.